Rise now.
Why does it sound like he's like taking a dump or something? Oh, rise now.
You're tarnished. Oh, rise.
Listen to it. Elden Ring lore notes. So let's watch this cinematic again. And if you're watching, feel free to offer stuff in the chat. We're gonna try to figure out who all these people are in this intro that was just introduced.
The fallen leaves.
Dark Souls is as well.
Tell us.
So first things first. Fallen leaves. Just a fun euphemism? Or something meaningful? If the latter, I'm going to go with... Well, because I remember I had this theory... Okay, well, so also let's keep questions we have up here. These need to be bigger also. No, not that big. What is glintstone sorcery? Right? So I have this theory from the character creation screen that glintstone sorcery is magic is tied to the stars in this world, right? So, but it's fallen leaves, not fallen stars. So is this connected or not? But I'm thinking if it's the latter, what I was going to say is I'm going to go with that. It's that, you know, it's Oracle telling, reading the leaves, right? I mean, that's something you can do, reading the tea leaves. I think actually the most common, which is probably the reason it's not in games and stuff, is because it's just gross. But the most common ways we're reading either like entrails, like of a dead animal, just like pulling its intestine apart and reading the future. But it could also be leaves, right? Or the stars, of course. Stars actually is probably the most, that's why I'm interested though. Why fallen leaves and why not the stars if it's glintstone sorcery? So that's something to bookmark. Why not stars? Okay, but that's not even what I wanted to get to. I wanted to get to all these characters that are getting introduced here.
A story. The great
Sorry, I've got a lot of
Elden
stuff
Ring
open, so let's just do this at 4.
was shattered in our home.
So, most important starting event. Equals Elden Ring. Is this just Lord of the Rings? Like the first magical ring or something? Was shattered. This is the kind of event that sets the whole thing in motion. Okay, let's keep going. And our home across the fog is the lands between, right? The lands between time, the lands before time. That's and what did it say here? Across the fog, the lands between. To be across the fog. The etymology of fog We don't have anything actually. Origin uncertain, perhaps related to Norwegian fog. So that's interesting. A pun maybe on the idiom fog of war. So that's something we could think about. Fog of war. At the moment, nothing is striking out about that, but fog of war. PS1 fog, you know? It's across the fog. So it's in the fog, right? That's what it means to say it's across the fog, right? It's spread out across the fog. So it's the forgotten land. It's the land that memory does not touch. Okay. And the Elden Ring was shattered.
Elden Ring.
The great Elden Ring
was shattered.
That's all the intro's got.
Fallen
Yeah. The story is that the
Tell a
great Elden
story.
Ring was shattered.
The great Elden Ring was shattered. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Now, Queen Marika the Eternal.
Okay. So here's our first name. Like, let's just make a... Let's even put it at the... Well, below the questions, because the questions are most important. The second most important is important figures. Who are they? What are their names? So, the first one we have is Queen Marika. Marika is what they said. Not Marika. The Eternal. So that's cool. Whatever it means. And we know that Elden Ring being shattered equals Queen Marika disappearing. So I think maybe we learned that or later on that she's divine, I think. After Image says, an important element of Dark Souls is that as the world nears a catastrophic event, the laws of time and existence become undone. Maybe something similar is happening in this one. Oh, cool. So the catastrophic event in this case might be the breaking of the ring, which would, yeah, that's cool. The forgetting of the fog of the lands between is an event of the undoing of the world, of the fabric of space-time. Cool. Okay, so Queen Marika the Eternal
is nowhere to be found. And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden.
So, okay. Other name, Godwyn the Golden. So there's a chain of events here. Queen Marika disappearing equals Godwyn murdered. And he's murdered in this is a bit Nazi-ish. Night of the Black Knives. We actually don't know if they're related, but it's the way it's set up, it makes it sound to me like Godwyn is somehow Queen Marika disappearing is how Godwyn is murdered. Or it's what After Image was saying. It's that the breaking of the ring set things into disorder or chaos and Godwyn was murdered.
Was first to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards.
Okay, that's important. So here's a question I have. Are were America and Godwin getting it on? You know, like is that who the offspring are? But then if they're demigods though, and America's a god, then she was actually probably getting it on with mortals. And Godwin, I was thinking, is also a god. But America's offspring, America's yeah 90s band, America's offspring, demigods all, let's put this in quotes so it's clear. America's offspring, demigods all. Was it made off with a shard? Claimed a shard of the Elden Ring. So now I'm wondering, are these the bosses? Am I going to go kill all of America's offspring and claim a shard of the Elden Ring? Is this like a Game of Thrones deal? Like, I'm also America's offspring and I'm going to kill everyone else? Become the king or whatever?
Of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering.
Okay, so there's some event called the shattering. So obviously another question is, what was the shattering? But yeah, it's some kind of cataclysmic event, it sounds like, that breaks the fabric of reality. And again, we're just continuing this train of events. I mean, I guess that's how a narrative works. The demigods, and they got great strength from the rings. Yeah, the Elden Ring must be like the One Ring. It's like the oldest ring. And it's broken into shards, and everyone got a shard. And thus became so powerful that it caused a shattering. So two possibilities there. One, did they become so powerful that war broke out and they were fighting with each other all the time? And like there was so much war breaking out in the streets that, you know, it just messed up the world? Or is it more something like their power, just like it's not like specific things happening in like fights in the street, it's like the power of the world is off kilter, like from how their power set the order of the universe out of alignment, and so the universe, like, or like the world started responding, if we're going with something like that. Okay.
A war from which no lord arose.
Okay, well, our question was basically just answered. It was a war. The shattering. This is why you watch to the end. We think we know. The war between the demigods who had claimed the shards of the ring. I think that's right. I think that's what the shattering is. If you don't think so, definitely say so in the chat.
A war leading to abandonment.
Okay, here's another person. Greater will. This is God, right? This is like the highest God. Right? It must be like, you know how there's like always like, there were like the Greek gods, but they weren't the highest gods because there was like the Titans or whatever above them. Maybe, I can't remember, maybe there was something above them. there's the greater will, which might not even be like a person. It might be a god in the sense of like what I was talking about, like the universe, or as we will learn when we finish this and do our Heideggerian reading, when it was being, the Seinsfrage, the being question, who was higher than America and Godwin, I guess, and this violent war out of which the answer would be number 2 if this is right. A violent war which upset the greater will, so he bailed. He, she, it, they bailed.
By the greater will. Oh, rise now.
Why does it sound like he's like taking a dump or something? Oh, rise now.
Ye tarnished. Oh, rise.
Listen to it. Ooh, I like that. The Elden Ring is some sort of cosmic object. I like that. Yeah. Or a hyper object.
Oh, rise now. Oh, 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 oh. Rise now. Ye tarnished.
Wait, just a moment.
Ye dead. Rise now. Oh, 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 oh. Rise now. Ye tarnished.
This is a very intellectual stream.
Who yet live.
Okay, this is not a person, but the tarnished, defined as ye dead who yet live. Right, so it's like we're talking undeads, which is I mean, that's kind of Dark Souls and Demon Souls. Let's go back for a second. Let me see one thing.
Oh, will.
Oh, we get to hear it again.
Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long lost grace speaks to us all. Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands.
Okay, so we're gonna get the list of the tarnished right here. So, I think. So, funny thing, that's like no joke. I'm joking a little bit about the whole Heidegger. The call of long lost grace speaks to us all. I've kind of been making like Heidegger jokes, but that's like the real deal. Like, because Heidegger says that thinking is a thanking, and being is a certain kind of graciousness. So the call of long lost grace speaks to us all. It could be the call of being in a Heideggerian sense. The call of long lost grace speaks to us all. The tarnished basically are the tarnished? Are the tarnished just people that have died somehow, or that have been lost? Well, earlier we were learning they were abandoned by the tree, which we haven't seen yet in the cinematic, but I was thinking they had the shards of the ring, but they had all died in a certain way in the shattering, so they're basically kind of ghosts walking around. That's my preliminary idea. What are the tarnished? The ghosts / hollow memories, the hauntology of the demigods who had taken the shards of the Elden Ring. Is that right? And then let's make a smaller, if these are indeed the tarnished.
Rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all. Horaloo.
So the first one is Horalo. What am I doing? Sorry. That just really threw me off. Horalo, Chieftain of the Badlands. Alright, so let's look at... I'm totally going to fight these guys. These are definitely the bosses. I'm definitely going to fight these guys. So is he this or is he this? I actually can't tell. Horalo, Chieftain of the Badlands.
Chieftain of the Badlands. The ever-brilliant Gold Mask.
Oh, is that a... This is the baby from Teletubbies. The scary sun baby. The ever-brilliant Gold Mask. I'll fix it later.
Fear, the deathbed companion, the loathsome dung-eater, and Sir Gideon Othmere, the all-knowing, the loathsome, the deathbed mask. Fear, the deathbed companion.
That's kind of weird.
The loathsome dung-eater.
That's weird.
And Sir Gideon Othmere, the all-knowing.
Sir Gideon Othmere.
Othmere, the all-knowing.
Yeah. So there's 5, but I think there's 6 bosses, right? I remember hearing that. So am I the 6th boss? Is that the big twist? Nice after image. Dung eater take. That's so true, dude. I bet that boss literally is XQC. Yeah, the son from Teletubbies is an eldritch being. Yeah, that's actually true.
Whom grace would again bless.
Grace, the call of being, would again unfold.
A tarnished of no renown. Cross the fog to the lands between.
Oh, so it's
To stand before the Elden Ring.
So okay. So earlier when I said it's across the fog. No, it's not in the fog. You have to cross the fog to get there. And the fog is like the veil or the between presence and absence, being and non-being. Yeah. And so I guess this reveal here is that I am the last tarnished, huh?
Bless. A tarnished of no renown.
I'm a tarnished, but I have... Okay, that's interesting, actually. And one other, whom grace would again bless.
And one other.
Which is me.
Whom grace would again bless. A tarnished of no renown.
It's also, I love that I picked Elpenor. That's so good because Elpenor is the man with no name. Too good. Man with no renown. A man of no name.
cross the fog
So I have to
to
cross
the lands
to
between.
the lands between being and non-being.
To stand before the Elden Ring
I thought the Elden Ring is broken.
and become the Elden Lord.
So I'm getting the shards and putting the ring back together. It's like a straight up that's what it is, right? Okay. Okay.